Back in February, I did a video on Laci Green and a video that she put out saying she was leaving YouTube, which really was just clickbait. She said she was going to take a break and look at going into a doctoral degree and possibly going into health services or something like that. In that video, I was a little bit sarcastic, but I did say that I hope she pulled her head out and she learned something and maybe explore or challenge herself in her own ideological beliefs. Well, lo and behold, just months later, she has a debate with Blair White, a anti-feminist and also a transsexual. And I was kind of floored. I was like, wait a second. This person that's been espousing feminist ideology that called us all misogynist assholes the day Trump got elected is now actually talking to the other side of her ideological position. That's bizarre, but all right. And I left it at that. And then she put out another video where she said this.
So this is the type of stuff that forms the core of my feminism, which I would describe as intersectional, sex positive, and skeptical. Skeptical, as in not easily convinced of stuff. Science is my rubric wherever possible because we're all prone to human error. Science isn't perfect, but it helps reduce those errors by a lot. At the end of the day, we all have true beliefs and we all have false beliefs. Skepticism is about acknowledging that. It's questioning even the seemingly unquestionable and being willing to adjust our beliefs as we get new information. In truth, I want to engage with criticism, but it's really hard to do online. I think we should address things head on. Through open dialogue, we can parse out ideas and really see what they're made of. And in response, everyone else has free speech too. They can dissent, they can protest, they can ask critical questions, they can counter the narrative, they can, highlight fallacies and moral failings of the argument.
Very interesting.
So there's been a lot of response videos to this. I don't want to make this as another one, but I seem to be wrong in my own original video. There's really nothing else to add to that. She's been gone out of the picture for a couple months, not spouting how awesome feminism is, while simultaneously making an ass of herself. Good for her. I hope she actually learns something. In sincerity, I do mean what I said in that message. I hope she does have a good experience. I hope she does take a few classes that'll pull her head out of her ass. But we all know what's going on college campuses at this point, so it's no surprise that she'll go back and have a wonderful experience being in an echo chamber that's largely self-serving. I didn't think that she would go back to school or learn anything new or just right back into her echo chamber. Instead, she actually challenged herself, which means I'd actually like to know where this came from. I'd like to know where she got the gumption or the idea to challenge herself in her own positions. You've seen a lot of the grief that she's gotten from her own side, as it were. You've seen a lot of vitriol and hate from people that are supposedly on her side. They come out and attack her personally. They've said a lot of nasty things that she shouldn't be talking to the other side, and no one should be talking to the Nazis. Steve Shives in particular, whose own ideological position is to silence anybody that he disagrees with, has come out and argued with her on Twitter a few times. But actually, my position is similar to everyone else's. I agree that this is a great thing, and she should probably continue down this path. Maybe she'd learn something. This whole red pill bit, I think it was a little bit of a clickbait thing to get us all to open up a little bit and be accepting to her idea of talking to other people that are on the anti-SJW side. I don't think that she's changed her ideological position. The reason why I say this is because I am very familiar with the Mormon cult and Mormonism in general, and she has that background in her. I know the psychological abuse that they use on women where to give an example, women can't enter heaven unless their husband or man that they are sealed to in the temple calls their name on the other side of the gates. So in other words, you are subservient to your man, and you're screwed after you die, because if you piss your man off, you don't get in. You're going to be outside the gates of heaven for all eternity because you pissed off your man or whatever. It's a real stupid ideology. There's a lot more to it than just that, but women are subservient to men. And to give you an idea, look at what this Mormon leader has said, and this will give you the idea of the authoritarian rule that this cult or religion, whatever you want to call it, has.
It's wrong to criticize leaders of the church, even if the criticism is true.
Say it loudly and proudly. Fuck you.
Just for an added bonus, I grew up in Utah. I don't know where Laci's from in particular, but I know a little bit more about Mormons than most people. I actually practiced the religion for a while. I actually didn't believe in it, but I tried it because the only way you can get a date is to pretend you're a Mormon in Utah. And so I really hope that this is a sincere thing that she's trying to do, but I'm also on the side of Sargon. You said some pretty nasty things and called a whole lot of people a lot of names. I don't actually expect an apology, but I do welcome the open invite for conversation. I personally would like to be involved with the conversation, but I have a feeling that's not going to happen, just because I'm a nobody, at least at this point. But I wish you well, and I'm looking forward to see what comes out next. I'm still not subscribed, because I'm not going to just jump on the whole bandwagon just because he made a couple videos that piqued my interest. But I will watch what happens with the other channels, and I will watch in interest with what you produce next. This is very interesting, Laci. I hope that things turn out well. I also want to see and hear when you finally decide what you do for your master or your doctorates in the upcoming months, or if you're going to enroll, or where you go and what degree you get, what you plan on studying in particular. I'm kind of a nerdy person in that way. I like knowledge. I don't care where it's from, so long as it's actual reality and not ideologically positioned. So, best of luck to you, and I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Let's see what happens.